everybody. I am so sorry that I couldn't be here today. I was really trying, but I have strep throat and Maria is sick as well, so we have to be at home. However, I wanted to make sure that you can learn the material you need to learn today. So what we're going to do is you should have your pages distributed by the sub, the wonderful sub. Thank you, whoever you are. Feel free to stop this video whenever, or pause this video whenever the kids need to finish writing what I wrote on the board. They can kind of tell you how it goes. You can also feel the pace to see how they're going. Feel free to pause and explain what they might not be understanding since I cannot see them. But I'm going to try to do as many of these as possible. And then some of these will be for homework. And in a separate video, I will go over the homework with you as well. So here we go. So I'm on page 43 right now. Okay. Now, instead of focusing on my face, you should really be focusing on the screen. So hopefully you don't see my face the whole time. But if not, here I am. Yay! Okay. The really important part is to looking over here at the work. Okay, here we go. Mateo walks 4/10 of a mile to Zach's house. What is the distance to Zach's house as a fraction in hundreds? So if you have 4/10, this is in tenths. If you want it in hundreds, that means that the denominator has to be in hundreds. And as you can see, they added a 0 right there. Look at it right there. So all you have to do is add a 0 to the 4, and you would get 40 hundredths. So that's the answer to that one. All right. Jesse added 5/10 plus 25 hundredths. What is the sum that they got? What that means is we cannot add when two denominators are different. So we're going to have to keep the 25 hundredths the same, but we are going to add a 0 to both the 5 and the 10 to create 50 hundredths. Now my denominator can stay 100. 50 plus 25, that would be 75 for a final answer of 7,500. So hopefully you're keeping up with me. Like I said, feel free to pause if you're the sub and you can see that they need a little help, okay? Now next, if we're looking at what's missing here, we can see that the 100 in the denominator tells us that they probably added something that had 100 over here as the denominator, okay? Now, if they added something with 100, that means that this needed it as well. So really is 60 hundredths plus something equals 80. So what plus 60 equals 80? That would be 20 hundredths. So 20 hundredths is right there. All right. We are rocking and rolling. Let's go to the next one. All right. And look at that. It has Julian's name. So this is block A. Julian, yay. Julian is building a birdhouse. The house is 2,500 meters high without the roof. The roof is 2/10 meters high. What is the height of the birdhouse with the roof? Okay, so if without the roof, it is 2,500 and the roof is 2/10, how much is it together? So that means that 2,500 is here, right? 2/10 go right there, but really I would have had to turn it to 20 hundredths, so that number would have gone there, for a total of 45 hundredths, which is right there. See, these are the two numbers that go in those blanks. Then complete this equation. So 6/10 plus x hundred equals 8,700. Remember that this needs to have a 0 and a 0. So really 60 plus what gives me 87? I can either count up to 87 or I can subtract 87 minus 60. And that would be 27. So x equals 27. That's what replaces it. The back page is going to be your homework. So I'm going to go ahead and skip it and go to page 45. Okay? Now, page 45, here we go. Well, number 1. What is 67 hundredths in decimal form? If we have 100, that means that's in the hundreds as a decimal. So it's like having 67 cents. That would be A. All right. Number 2, what is 2 and 77 hundredths as a decimal? That too means a whole number. It's like having 2 whole dollars. Now this is out of 100, so this is just 77 cents. So just like that. All right. Number 3, what is a fraction that is equivalent to 0.2? You can see there's only one place value after the decimal place, so that's just 10. So it's 2 over 10, or A, okay? Now it says select the 2 correct answers. That's because you could also have an imaginary 0 at the end of those, and it wouldn't change the value. It would still be 20 cents. So 20 hundredths is another acceptable answer for that question. Number 4, which of these equations is correct? Let's see. Well, I don't see any whole numbers here, so this 2 shouldn't exist. So this is not our answer. Now, this is $4.81, but this says $4.81 over 10. That does not make sense. Okay? Now, over here, I have 59 cents, but it should be over 100, and I don't see 100, so that's not our answer. However, if I look at 63 tenths and I do my hard method, I'm going to show you something. 6 3/10, or 6.3. That means that this is our correct answer. All right. And if you didn't understand it, like I said, whoever my wonderful sub is, they can stop and explain it again. Now, what is 3 5,400 treated as a decimal? Here are my whole dollars, so it's 3 whole dollars and 54 cents. Here's 3 whole dollars and 54 cents. And I'm sorry if my throat sounds weird. That's because of the strep. It's a little swollen, so that's why I sound funny. No making fun of Miss Rivera. All right, number 6. How can the number 12 and 20 be written in decimal form? Well, 12 is my whole number, so I know it has to go before the decimal point, and then I have 20 after the decimal point. So I either have this one, or if I eliminate the 0, it would still stand for the same thing, so I could have 12.2. Those are the 2 correct answers that work. Number 7, how can each of the fractions be written as a decimal form? Well, I don't have any holes, so 0.85, because there's 85 over 100. Over this one, because it's over 10, I do my heart method again. 10 fits into 40 4 times. I subtract and I have 7, so it's 4 and 7/10, also known as 4 and 7/10. Remember that and was dead because it was a decimal point, so I can totally say and now. All right, for this one, 5 wholes and 2 tens, so 5.2. All right, the back page is your homework, like I said, so we're going to move on. And hopefully you're pausing, you're keeping up with the recording. It's okay to pause a million times. I knew it would happen, okay? Next page, 47. I know this is a lot of work. Hang on with me, okay? The top 4 results for a long jump competition at a track and field meet are shown. Oh my goodness. Okay, Ashton got 4.56 meters. Josie got 4.29 meters. Myrna got 4.70 meters. And Shania, sounds like Janaya in my blog B. Hi, Janaya, if you're there. 4.58 meters. Who won the competition with the longest jump? In other words, which one of these numbers is the largest? Well, I see that the whole numbers are all 4, so that's not going to help me. So I'm going to have to look at the tenths. For the tenths, the largest number I see is the 7. And who got 4.70? That was Myrna. So Myrna got the longest jump. Good job, okay? Janaya, don't give up on your long jump dreams, okay? Number 2. Here we go. She probably thinks I'm cringy by doing all this, but place an X in the table to show whether each comparison is true or false. I have to check them all. I cannot guess on here, okay? Is 0.2 bigger than 0.25? Well, if I put a 0 right there, it's kind of easy to tell. Well, that's not true because 25 cents is more than 20. So this is false. Now, 4.8, which is really 4.80, is bigger than 4.08. So this is true. Over here, having 13 cents and having 31 cents is not the same thing. So this is false. And then 3.4 and 3.40. This is a little bit of a trick. They want to see who thinks 40 is bigger than 4. But there's an invisible 0 right here. So they're actually equal. Therefore, this is falsely false. That's why we can just say, oh, it's a pattern, and just choose that there's always going to be 2 and 2, because that's not always going to be the truth. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I am going through this very quick. So if I make a mistake, it's okay to correct me, okay, and substitute. If you see that I make a mistake, definitely fix it. Ariana, not Grande, but Ariana writes a decimal that is greater than 2.6 and less than 2.85. So that means it's in between these 2 decimals. Which of these could be the decimal that Ariana writes? So I'm looking for a number that fits in between these 2. I'm going to make my life easier by putting an imaginary 0 here so that I can see it's anywhere between 60 and 85. 89 is more than 85, so no. 2.80 is in between those, so yes, that would be an answer. 73 is in between these two, so yes, that would be an answer. 2.60 is not in between because it's this exact number, so that's not in between. And 2.57 is less than that 2.6. Therefore, my only two answers that make sense are 2.8 and 2.73. All right, we are rocking and rolling. And I'm sorry if any of these problems haven't been visible. I'm trying to look at a camera and look at the ladybug at the same time, and sometimes it's not very together there, so I'm trying my best. Which symbol correctly compares these numbers? So 3.6 and 3.60 are actually twins in disguise. This is equal. All right. $2, $2. That's the same. But 17 cents is less than 71 cents. Then 46 is bigger than that 39 because those fives are the same. Okay. Next up, we are going to draw our line from each decimal to the correct place on the number line to order the decimals from least to greatest, least to greatest. You know that I like to write those letters so that I don't get confused. Okay, so if this is 4.1, this means that this is 4.11, 4.12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and that's 4.20. So if you imagine that there's a zero here, it'll make this a lot easier. 4.11 would be just one dot after that 4.1 because it would be 4.11. Then for 16, if that was 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, here is 4.16. If this is 4.20, then 4.21 is the next one. And then for 4.21, 28, 4.21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Here is where 4.28 would go. Definitely pause the video if you need to because this took a while. When you are ready, let's hit play and continue. All right, I am halfway done. Oh my goodness, I know this is taking a long time. I so appreciate your attention and your help. I told you a while ago that in the FSA PM3, they were not going to give you a protractor to use because you can't put a protractor on a computer screen and then start making lines. Therefore, they're going to give you the picture of a protractor. You're going to have to learn how to read it. Okay, this is very crucial. There's going to be some of these questions on this test. So let's be careful on how we see it. First of all, we can see that this angle is small, and when angles are small or smaller than 90 degrees, we call them acute angles. So it cannot be 90 degrees because 90 degrees is a right angle, right? So I'm not looking at these big numbers. I'm looking at the little numbers on the back. It looks like it's in between 40 and 50. The number that is in between 40 and 50 is 45. Okay, so let's make sure that we're looking at the right thing. All right, number 2. Once again, they gave me a small angle, so I know this is probably acute, which means 120, 160 are going to be way too big. But if I look at where this stops at that 30 right there. So I can pick 30. It's not 60 because look at 60 over here, man. It's not going to be that. All right, number 3. We are rocking this. Look at how big this ankle is. That means that this is going to be obtuse. Okay, so in this obtuse angle that we see right here, if it's obtuse, it's going to be bigger than 90. It's a daddy angle. So nope and nope. It's going to be either 120 or 130. It looks like it goes to that 120 right there. So bam, that's going to be my measurement. And number 4. In this one, we have to look at the number and write it on that blank. It says here, the angle shown is a blank angle. I see that is nice and big, so that is an obtuse angle because acute would be smaller and right would be the one that makes the perfect letter L, and that's not a 90-degree angle right there. So it's going through here. That is 150. When you get these questions, please take your time. Okay, so that is your homework, as I told you. So we're going to go right to the next page. I see that my screen froze there for a second. I apologize for that. All right, number 1 in page 63. We are rocking and rolling. If you remember, I have a student named Mina. Maybe if this is block A, Mina's right there. Or if she's absent, I'm going to miss her, just like you guys are missing me right now. Mina used to do a split in the classroom, and that showed us that when her legs were like this, that's 180 degrees. So these three angles together, because they're all at the end, all laying down when they're all added together, that means that whole thing's 180. So if I wanted to look at the one that's missing, I'm going to have to add 23 and 69 plus that last final number that I don't know to get the 180. So in order to find what's missing, I add what I do know. No shame in writing them like this. 3 plus 9 is 12. I'm going to carry 1. 1 and 2 is 3. 3 and 6 is 9. So this is 92 altogether, and it has to equal 180. So if I take the 180 and I take away the 92, I am left with 88 degrees. And that is how I know that that angle is 88 degrees. If you need to rewind this and watch it again, please do it. All right. Number 2. Place an X in the table to show whether each statement is true or false. Just like I said, the mean is split. Both of these angles together are going to equal 180. So let's see. The angle measure of a straight angle is 360. No, a straight angle is 180, folks. To find the measure of X, Nina can subtract 105 from 360. No, from 180. The measure is 75. Well, let's see. 180 minus the 105 I know does give me 75 degrees. That is my true statement. All right. Remember to pause and rewind if you need to. All right, number 3. Eric, boyfriend to Ariel, put two, that was a Little Mermaid joke for anybody who caught that. Eric put two angles together to form a straight angle. One angle, so straight angle, that means it goes like this. Two angles were put together. One of them was 115. They want to know what the other angle is. Well, 180, which is a straight angle, minus 115. Let's see, let's do it together, would be 65 degrees. And substitute, if you want to pause and let them work it out, what a great idea that is. And I know that this is exhausting. Carry on with me. I know that you can do it. Number 4, these three angles, once again, are going to measure 180 degrees. So that's what all three are going to measure. I know one is 90. I know one is 52. And then I'm missing that last one. So in order to find it, I'm going to add 90 plus 52, which is 142. And 180 minus 142 is going to give me 38 degrees, which is what I'm missing. Boom, chakalaka. All my funny things are coming through. Number 5, last one on this page, and then we only have one more page. You're almost done. All three of these together are going to measure 180 degrees, as you know. So we add the ones we do know, 35 plus 45. That would give me 80 degrees. So how many to get from 80 to 180? 100 degrees. Very, very nice. Okay. Pages for homework. Therefore, this is the last one I have left. You are doing so good. Okay. Now, which angles are acute? Circle all the acute angles. Well, A is acute, so I'm going to circle that. E is big, so I'm not going to do that. B is also big, so I'm not going to do that. But I am going to circle C because it's acute, and I am not going to circle D because that's a big guy too. So those are the acute angles. Number 2. Which type of angle best describes the angle shown in the triangle? So that to me looks like it's a pretty straight L. So that is a right angle. It's a pretty nicely formed. Maybe I shouldn't have said straight because that's 180 degrees. So don't do that. Number 3. What type of angle did the chopsticks form? That looks little. That's an acute angle. It's a little baby angle. And then number 4, quadrilateral is shown. Place an X on the table to classify each angle. So what is angle A? So what's the angle A? That looks big to me. That looks obtuse. So I'm going to go obtuse. And there's no shame I'm turning that paper. B, let me look at B. Oh, B looks acute to me. So I am going to pick acute for B. For C, that actually looks obtuse because it's bigger than 90. And then D has that little box, which is your determining factor on knowing that is a right angle. Fantastic. Look at this. You did it. You went through 6 pages with me. Now your homework is going to be all the back pages. So highlight them if you need to, circle them if you need to. And I'm going to do another video that's going to have that homework. So if you want to watch it at home and follow along with me, You can totally do that. Thank you so much for paying attention. I know that was a lot, but I'm just proud of you. All right. All right. I'll see you later. Bye.